Hello, planet positive people. This is a very intense time to be an earthling. We're also getting a very clear message from the blue skies that we're seeing over our cities. I mean, the atmosphere responds immediately when you stop pumping copious quantities of crap into it on a daily basis. Now, of course, we all wish we were seeing this drastic drop in air pollution under entirely different circumstances. But because of our efforts to bend the curve on COVID-19 transmissions, we've also bent the curve on CO2 emissions. To properly socially distance ourselves, we've all been told to shelter in place. I don't know why they don't just call it what it is. Stay at home by yourself. Stay at home by yourself. Everyone would understand that. And don't let your hairdresser come over like this Italian mayor had to tell the people of his town. Nobody cares what you look like when you're dealing with COVID-19. Nobody. More important things. The estimated drops in air polluted related deaths is whopping, especially when you consider that every year around the world between 7 and 8 million people die because of the bad air they breathe. 5 years ago, a study found that every day 4,400 people die from the dirty air they're breathing in China alone. So when China shut down this past January and February, a researcher estimated that 77,000 lives were saved because of the sudden drastic drop in nitrogen dioxide and particulate pollution, aka black carbon, in the atmosphere. The satellite tells the story. Look at how the skies cleared up. And this is happening all over the world. Delhi, India, was experiencing an air quality index number of 999 this past November. That is 16 times the permissible level. I mean, look at this family commuting. It looks like they're in some apocalyptic movie. Good air quality is somewhere between 0 to 50 on the air quality index. I just checked ours in Santa Monica, and right now we're at 45, which means we're good. Usually we're only moderate. But this is the result of all the staying inside. Well, it's not really the staying inside, it's the less driving and flying. I mean, we need to pay attention to this. The planet responds super quickly and it's healthier for us. When I was in school learning about all this stuff, I remember reading this report talking about how some days 10 to 25% of the air pollution over the skies of Los Angeles originates in China. Now, I'm not getting down on this one country. This is just a geographical given, because if you live in the 30 to 60 degree latitudes, either the northern or the southern hemisphere, you get westerly winds. Maybe westerly looks like that direction for you guys, but you get these westerly winds. So whatever happens there gets blown west to you. It's all explained here in the Hadley cell. I have to say, I love the Hadley cell. It tells you all about the globe's weather patterns and how they work. It's super cool. And again, I'm not saying it to be down on one particular part of the world. What I'm doing is I'm saying we share one atmosphere. So when world leaders get together and talk about lowering CO2 emissions, it only works when we all do it, which is the same as reducing transmission of the coronavirus. It only works when we all do it. And right now, we're all doing it. We are it being sheltering in place. We are, staycationing. We're working remotely. We're doing this to save ourselves and each other. And I see firsthand how quickly the atmosphere is responding to us not pumping copious quantities of fossil fuel pollution into it every day. So I'm looking into the valley and you can see the air is super clean. I think, how can we take this lesson into the future when we can all be outside again to enjoy the clean air and beautiful skies together, outside, being outside together? That is the big question, people. But of course, we already have the answer. We know the answer. It is a world running on 100% renewable clean energy. That is, every sector has to be electrified. So that's agriculture as well as transport and industry, all running on 100% clean electricity. We have the answer. So the question is, if not now, when? My last video before COVID-19 changed our lives was all about remote working and how virtual us in meetings on the opposite side of the world, as opposed to actual us jumping on a plane to go to that meeting, was going to be a real game changer with personal carbon footprints, the carbon footprints of companies, because we have to reduce the crazy amount of flying that we do and how much that adds to warming the planet. We are all being forced to work remotely right now and to learn how to alleviate and deal with feelings of isolation. But this is not going to be our new norm 24/7, 365 days of the year. But what it is showing us is that our business as usual way of getting around, it's not good. And when we stop doing it, the skies clear up so fast. Another selling point, 17 years ago during the SARS outbreak, that's severe acute respiratory syndrome, what they found was people who lived in places with a lot of air pollution were twice as likely to die as people who lived in places with clean air. Okay, so I'm going to say it really plainly. We need clean air so that we can be healthier and not as susceptible to a nasty virus like COVID-19 when it comes along. We need this just as much as we need a well-informed, well-funded, well-prepared medical system to be ready when that pandemic does strike. These two things are interconnected, and to not see that is really short-sighted. So was rolling back the stricter vehicle emission standards, which the US administration did just this past week. I mean, that is not the eco direction we should be moving in. Transport is the biggest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions in the US, so of course we need stricter vehicle emission standards. It's a no-brainer. We need it for healthier air, healthier us, and to combat climate change. While you've got all this time on your hands as COVID-19 shut-ins, you could lobby your elected officials to say, hey, we do not want to lower the emissions on vehicles. There are so many attorneys general around the US who will be fighting this move against the administration. There are organizations that are really, at the forefront of this. I will leave links below so that you can use your time wisely while you're at home and fight for cleaner, healthier air. Please be safe. Take good care of yourselves. Leave a comment, a like, subscribe. I will see you next time. And as I like to call children, I'm supposed to be working on my Spanish during this time. I have to admit I haven't been very good, but this is how I'm going to sign off. Mi casa is solo mi casa en este momento, which means my house is only my house right now. But I really can't wait till that is not the case and we can all be together again. And until then, please be safe, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Adios.